Geepish and Johnson moving forward. In comes the free kick. Chance here, Johnson. Yeah. And it's a goal. Johnson headed it across goal. And McCormack headed it in. And Reading stood and watched, and no offside came. Dropping in the centre circle. And it's touched forward by Kennedy to McPhail. He plays that forward. Ledley plays it on. Ledley goes into the area. Ledley could score here. Yeah. Ledley has scored 2-0. It's round 4.
Very cool, calm and collected, Reading fans, and why not? They're unbeaten in 8. Their home record is the best in the Championship. They fear no one, and Wolves are in their sights. Contrast that with Watford, whose away record is awful. 1 win in 13 attempts, and the bookies don't give them much hope this evening. Freezing air temperatures, but under-soil heating means we have a game on. And kicking off the Coca-Cola Championship in 2009, it's Reading in 2nd place against Watford in 19th. We're live from the MADEJSKI Stadium. From the first game when Watford met Reading this season, you knew we were going to talk about it, AD. The goal that never was, the ghost goal. You're still haunted by it.
Yeah, it's the first time I've been in a room with Marcus, and I want to know why he never threw the ball in the second half. But, yeah, unbelievable, unforeseen circumstances, and let's hope it never happens again. But, yes, I think we're all still bewildered by that.
Stuart Atwell was the referee that came to that decision. Marcus, being out there on the pitch, were you as bewildered as everybody else?
Oh, I knew it was a goal from where I was. I saw it clearly.
That was when it apparently crossed the line, but as we can see, it's some feet away. And you were very gracious, AD, as well, because you had a penalty go against you.
Yeah. We did, but I think that one was deserved. It was a very, very strange game, and the aftermath, I think, is unprecedented. But what I will say, when I went for my appeal, the FA were very gracious and very kind and very professional in how they dealt with me, meaning I didn't get a fine, which is always nice.
Tell us, Marcus, was there ever any debate within the Reading dressing room at half-time that you might rectify the situation? You scored a goal that never was.
Well, I thought it hit the bar and, you know, hit the line or, you know, was close. And I didn't know, you know, that how far away it was actually from a goal until I saw it after. And because people said, oh, it wasn't in. But, you know, you see those given and sometimes, you know, you get them and sometimes you don't. But to see it was, you know, even outside the goal by about 4 yards, it was still quite amazing.
Steve, now that you're out of the FA Cup, how much of a bonus is it to be able to focus solely on one prime target, promotion?
You just focus on the next game. You know, people think I want to get out the FA Cup. It's far from the truth. You know, I'd love to have a great run in the Cup. It keeps everybody busy, active, and interested. So it's no advantage, but we've had time to prepare for this one, and as you say, concentrate fully on it.
You're unbeaten in your last 8 in the league, but you have drawn your last 2. Bearing that in mind, how important is it to recapture the winning habit as quickly as possible?
Well, I think you come to the stage of the season, you know, I call it the meat in the sandwich, the middle third of the season. It's where you really position yourself for the finish, and you know, wins are critical at any time, but at this time they seem more important. So it's vital for us, it's vital for Watford in their situation. So, you know, 2 teams with everything to play for tonight.
Here's tonight's team news for you. Reading gave a sunshine break to most of their key players on FA Cup weekend. In fact, at this lineup, only keeper Adam Federici started the tie at Cardiff. Up front, Noel Hunt regains his place from Shane Long. Kevin Doyle's top scorer in the Championship with 16 goals, but is 1 booking away from a suspension. Watford are giving youth a fling. On loan, 18-year-old Gavin Hoyt from Arsenal and 19-year-old Jack Cork from Chelsea make their league debuts for the club tonight, while another teenager, Ross Jenkins, no relation, by the way, to Watford's famous old striker, is cementing a place in midfield. Tommy Smith's 12 goals, putting him on the leading scorers in this division, and Lee Williamson is fit after an ankle injury. Leroy Leiter, a hit on loan at Norwich, can't get back into the Reading side, and John Joe O'Toole, a target for Wolves in this transfer window, is among the Watford substitutes. There's the Hunt brothers there, Noel and Stephen. Come a long way since they were playing football on the streets of County Waterford in Ireland. 2 sides on their way. You wonder, will it be more hot form at home on a freezing night for Reading? Can Watford come up with a great result for Brendan Rodgers, who is returning home here?
For a minute's silence for a man who's been described as a real saviour of Reading Football Club, Roy Tranter, who died at the end of December. A man who 25 years ago helped see off Robert Maxwell's threatened Thames Valley merger plans. Impeccably observed by Reading and Watford fans here this evening. So we're ready for the first championship game of 2009. Your commentators, Don Goodman and Ian Dark.
Yes, thanks very much indeed, David. Stuart Atwell, I think, was never going to get the appointment tonight to referee this one again. It's Andy D'Urso in charge. Big test, really, for Brendan Rodgers, who's taken over as the man in charge now at Watford. He actually lives in Reading, and his parents-in-law are still on the staff here. One of them, Mike Kearney, the former Reading player who looks after the training ground these days. Here's Stephen Hunt in towards Doyle. Cisse ahead of him. Still Doyle. Good challenge from Mariappa. Miscue by Demerit. Could cost them. Cisse blocked by the goalkeeper. And Watford there nearly committed suicide. Demerit in particular.
Well, he'll be breathing a huge sigh of relief, the skipper, won't he? And Kevin Doyle very reluctant to shoot on his right foot, wasn't he? Wanted to get closer, but that's a horrific mistake. But credit to Scott Loach. He was really on his toes, and his anticipation was excellent. He's out like a flash, eyes on the ball, he stands tall, and he gets a great blocking. Super goalkeeping.
And he shot straight at the goalkeeper. Loach was very grateful for that, but there's another chance for Reading.
That's another example of really poor defending. They give the ball away, and Kevin Doyle's a very unselfish run leads to that space opening up, and Stephen Hunt, a little bit like Doyle before him, he would have preferred that to have been on his left foot.
Jubilee with the challenge. The referee thought it was okay. Doyle got between the two central defenders, turns cleverly, gets the shot away. Loach at the second attempt. It was a fine save in the end, but it was a heart-stopping moment for him.
Oh, doesn't that just signify the difference between Kevin Doyle on his right foot and Kevin Doyle when he's able to manoeuvre it onto his left? It's a brilliant strike, hits the target like a good striker would. And let's give Scott Loach a lot of credit. It was hard and low.
Aside from McAnuff, but the ball took a long, long time to reach him. Again, Priskin's the target with a header. He won it too. He was heading for the bottom corner, but not with the required pace. Tonight, they do produce a fair few players who come through the ranks. Now, Dewberry lost possession there, and it's come to McAnuff. It deflected off Dewberry. He wasn't a million miles away. It's gone for a corner. All a bit tight over there, Kebe and Rosinia. And somehow they've made something of that. Watford won't be pleased about that. Demerit got a foot in. Danger still not over. And another great block from the captain. Still not away by Watford. They've had their chances. Armstrong! And he scored! It's Chris Armstrong with his very first goal for Reading. And that really was a case of defensive lapses by Watford, giving repeated opportunities to Reading. And in the end, they took one.
How many times did Watford have the opportunity to get this ball away? That's poor defending. Rosinia does well. That's the right full back. Demerit gets a decent block in, but they don't deal with a knockdown. That's got to be a better header there. And once Stephen Hunt does that, there's your other full back joining in. And he gets his reward, Chris Armstrong, for taking a gamble. Great layoff by Stephen Hunt. on the volley, and it's a great strike. He's still got a lot to do. When he finds the target, and he finds the net, and that's what it's all about, this game. Watford have been the better team, but it's about sticking the ball in the back of that net.
To get his first goal for the club. Just when the side was struggling a bit. Briskin did well there. McAnuff, lovely turn from him. And then the shot, it was always going wide. A really nice, neat, deft build-up play from Watford there.
Well, that's a decent reply, isn't it? Very, very good skill by Briskin. And then McAnuff, we know that he's capable of this.
It's Doyle. Cisse got hold of it, but it was always going wide.
Well,
Kebe, Doyle wants it and gets it. Stephen Hunt, chance. And when he's put it wide, did it deflect? I think it did on the way through. Corner, and the deflection might have been crucial.
May well. I mean, again, very unselfish from Kevin Doyle to find Stephen Hunt, and it's a crucial deflection from Gavin Hoyt. Just gets the end of his toe in the way there. A very unselfish play from Kevin Doyle.
Go short to Doyle. Cut the cross in Noel Hunt, who's really got a leap on him. Good spring.
You can see his frustration. Look at that. He thinks he should have been scoring. I don't know if he's being a little bit harsh on himself. It's a fantastic ball in. Takes the keeper out of the equation. And it's young Ross Jenkins at the far post. Does his team a turn by jumping with just a bit of encouragement from the manager there. Not doing an awful lot wrong. It's just in that final third. There's not much dropping for them. They've not been able to test Adam Federici in the Reading goal. That's the big disappointment from this Watford performance tonight.
Armstrong, the Reading goal scorer. To Stephen Hunt. Good deep cross towards KB, attacking it. And surely to, yes it is, and it's Noel Hunt. He took his time, he knew he had a little, and he made sure, and Reading go 2-0 up.
Well, that's the sign of a man in form. He made that look very, very easy. I was just disappointed with the way Jimmy Kebe attacked the ball. I thought if he'd have gone in with real conviction, he could have got on the score sheet here. He doesn't. But as this breaks, most strikers would have took that a little earlier. It would have been a higher bounce and a more difficult chance, but Noel Hunt, confident, lets it drop a bit and then keeps it low, keeps it down, and that's the key to this ball ending up in the back of the net. The fact that he hits it down and into the ground, it's brilliant awareness from Noel Hunt, and it's an absolutely brilliant goal, a brilliant finish that he's made look much easier than it actually was.
Yeah, a lot of players might have ballooned that over the bar. His 10th league goal of the season. Every other time he's scored, Reading have gone on to win, and they'll fancy themselves to do exactly that here now with a 2-goal cushion. It's a great cross from Stephen Hunt to set all that up, by the way. Here's Rosinia. Another ball in, and it's Doyle this time, and it's 3, and Watford surely is up now.
Well, didn't you say he'd never scored against Watford, Kevin Doyle? I guess that makes him due one against them. And all he's done is he's taken a gamble and he's got his reward. Great overlap again. Rosinia loves to get forward. That's a great ball in. Loach starts to come and then stops. And I think looking at that, he'll wish he had gone all the way. He may well have intercepted that. Bounces in the danger area. Simple finish for somebody of Kevin Doyle's calibre. I think the goalkeeper will be disappointed there. I really do. 10th time they've scored 3 goals in the Championship this season. Extremely well, to the extent that he hasn't really had to make a save of any note in the entire game.
Williamson! Oh, he wasn't far away with that one.
He wants a corner. Lee Williamson. Once again, good build-up play. This time he is prepared to take the strike, gets the bend on the ball, and it does brush James Harper's leg, and that might be the key thing that took that the wrong side of the post from Watford's perspective.
It's Chris Armstrong who started it all off. A very important first goal on what had been a frustrating night. And Ingemarson denied by a brilliant save from Loach. Instinctive reflex save from the goalkeeper.
Oh, Ingemarson, how good was that? Absolutely first-class control. Super strike. Decent save from Scott Loach.
Here comes the Reading corner kick. Leroy Lita was totally unmarked.
Well, there's an inquest going on. Look, Watford defenders all arguing amongst themselves. How on earth does Leroy Lita find that? And look, he stood on his own. It's quite remarkable. It's a free header. And look at the inquest. And this was Ingemarson. Brilliant control and a super strike. He actually almost hits the ball too cleanly and too well. If he miscues that a little bit, the ball might end up in the net.
But what do we read into that? Is some move to Wolves imminent? There's a lot of talk about that, isn't there?
There's no doubt about it. He's a talented lad. I was very surprised he wasn't in the starting lineup.
Lita, Flagstave down, 4-0. And now it is a drubbing for Watford.
Well, the centre of that defence just opened up as wide can be. And Leroy Lita just ghosted into the space, unopposed.
His first goal this season for Reading.
Yeah. I mean, look at this. He doesn't actually have to do anything. Just goes in through the middle. Look at the gap. I mean, Mariappa's 10 yards in front of his defensive partners. Lita goes in. And once he gets into these areas here, there's only ever going to be one outcome. And that's the ball's going to hit the back of the net. Clinical striker. It's a clinical finish, and didn't he enjoy it?
He really did. The last time he scored for Reading was on the final day of last season at Derby when they won 4-0 but went down. Here's Harper. It's all over. 3 more big points for Steve Coppell's Reading. They moved to within 4 of Wolves. They moved 3 ahead of Birmingham, and Brendan Rodgers' return to Reading, where he was the academy director, in the end turns into a sad story. The form book was obeyed in the end. Those 2 goals in a minute in the middle of the second half, really wrapping it all up and deciding it as an argument. It's Reading 4, Watford 0. They wish it was Wolves. Sir John MADEJSKI, he's got something to celebrate. Reading still on course.
Oh, the last couple of years we struggled against Watford, to be honest with you. And it hasn't been very good games. Tonight was a bit scrappy, but we won the game comfortably.
Well, congratulations to Noel, another goal, your 12th. Was that the goal? Was that the finish of a man in form, do you feel?
Yeah, well, I think for the game I was a little bit rusty. Had a couple of days off and stuff, you know, and a nice little break. Happy to get a goal and keep the run going, I suppose.
A break's supposed to do you good, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. To be fair, it has. I felt a lot better. Just get my sharp feet back now. It's great, you know. Great performance for the boys, you know. Stephen, exactly what we needed exactly for the day. It was a cold day and there was plenty of run to do, so it was great.
Good finish, as I say. Can you explain the celebration for us, please?
I live next door to Federici, and his family are over, his dad and that, like, and they said the last 2 games if I score I've got to do something that forms of kangaroo, so that's for them, to be fair.
Well, thank you for explaining that. Just a final one to you, Stephen. That puts you 4 points behind Wolves, 3 now ahead of Birmingham. How satisfied are you with your league position at this point?
We're second. Looking for second, and we'll be looking to win the league from here, but Wolves are setting a good pace, and they're top because they deserve to be top, and we have a long way to go, and we'll see what happens.
We had a minute in the second half that sort of killed the game, really. And obviously, once it gets to 3-0, you know, against the top side, you know, Reading are probably the best side in this division, and for sure will go up. So, as I said, we just need to learn that in those moments you must kill the game, and as I said, not concede so softly. And then obviously at the end, you're chasing the game, and someone like Lita will finish well. So, I just thought overall we had done well. Disappointed with the result because, as I said, I didn't think it was that. But you know, I think congratulations to Reading. They're a top side, and for me, as I said, they'll certainly be going up this year.
Lovely football from Swansea. Goes for goal as well. It's an excellent save from Federici. Swansea showing just what they're capable of once more. Take goes forward, might fall for Jason Scotland on the turn! Jason Scotland scores for Swansea City. 2 last week to win at Burnley. He's opened the scoring here at the Liberty Stadium. Instinctive shot on the turn. Brilliant finish from the big centre forward. He's banging form at the moment. It's an excellent run, and Rossignol appeared to haul him back there. He's already been booked, the Reading player. It's going to be a second yellow card, and Reading's day goes from bad to worse. Launched forward, looking for the run of Scotland. Jason Scotland could be in here. He's held the ball up well. He's done really well, Scotland. He's still going, might fall for Orlandi. It's got in. Swansea City double their advantage and will beat Reading for the first time in 17 years in the league. Scotland caused the problems. Orlandi finished it off. It's 2-0.
Good harrying that. And they've won it back, have Reading. Can Stephen Hunt find a cross? Oh. Finally got it away, Wolves. Fired straight back in though. And oh dear! Own goal. Neil Collins has given Reading the lead. Well, Noel Hunt is taking the credit for putting the defender under pressure, but just heads it past his own goalkeeper, Neil Collins. A bit of a mess all round, that goal from a Wolves point of view. Ebanks Blake. Jarvis. Across the area. Must score, Keogh! Oh, he's dragged it wide. Harper. Straight at the goalkeeper. Too easy for Hennessy. 2-0 would have wrapped it up surely for Reading. Collins has run that into touch. It'll be a corner kick for Reading. Oh, now what's happened there to upset the linesman? His flag went up as Collins said something as he walked away. And there's going to be a discussion between the officials. Reading are ready to just get on with it. Well, Neil Collins has obviously said something to upset the referee's assistant, because a long debate has been had between the officials. And referee Booth wants a word with the Scottish defender. Well, his innocence is being pleaded by his teammates. So he's gone for his pocket in his red card. Well, I can only presume that Neil Collins has sworn at the lines.
2-on-2 for QPR on this left flank. They do well as well. That's a fine ball to the far post. It's a real chance for Hyder Helgason. Well, they really should have broken the deadlock then. How did he miss the target from that range? Rather hopeful looking ball. Forward to Doyle. Hoping to turn it into something more profitable. He's done really well. Cissé's going to hit it. Oh, good save onto the post from Lee Camp, I think. It's a corner ball. Excellent goalkeeping. Camp to launch this one forward. It's a huge clearance as well. Might lead to a chance. Reading are backing off him. He does go for goal. Just wide of Federici's left-hand post. That wasn't far away at all. Can the deadlock be broken here at Loftus Road? Plenty forward. Takes his time to deliver. It's a good-looking ball, though. Bouncing around. All deflected over. This is a chance. Good defending on the line. Tries for handball. It's not going to be given. Forward it goes into the box. Camp comes out, doesn't get there. Might fall for Hunt. Is that a penalty? No, says the referee. He's given a goal kick. Well, Reading can't quite believe it. Up it goes to Doyle. Lovely turn. He's got it back again. This could mean trouble for Preston North End. It's on to Lita. Good save from Lonergan. Doyle trying to get Reading going. Found its way into the box as well. It's another excellent stop from the Preston shot stopper. Forward come Preston. Plenty in support. This is a good opportunity. Now can he pick somebody out? Might still be a chance. It's bouncing around. Can it be turned home? No, it can't. Still there for Preston though. And now from distance. Reading still can't clear their lines. Good pressure this from the away side. Now can they get the goal to break the deadlock? Federici comes out and does well. It's going to be the right footer. Off the wall quality. Lacking once more. It's still there for Reading. Bouncing around. Well over in the air. Up to Doyle. After scoring so many goals earlier this season, Reading have suddenly found it hard to find the back of the nets. And that just about sums up their luck. It'll be 4 games without a goal if they don't score this afternoon. It's going to be McIndoe to whip this in left-footed. That's a fine ball. It's Adebola. It's a free header. It's the lead for Bristol City inside 26 minutes. McIndoe's ball was excellent. Adebola peeled off his man. Bristol City have the lead. Excellent run this down the right-hand side. Now can he pick someone out? It's Leroy Lita. Straight at Adriano Basso. 20 forward for this free kick. In it goes up to Adebola. It might be a chance here. It's bouncing around. Cole Scouse is there. The goal's been given. And Bristol City have made the perfect start to this second half. Almighty scramble. Cole Scouse, I think, gets the final touch. Those 4,500 fans are making some noise now because they're 2 goals to the good. On to Lita. Can he finish? It's a good effort. Basso claims it well. Had to hang on to that and did. Bristol City on the prowl for more. Real opportunity. Perhaps he should have finished it. What have Reading got? Such a long time now without scoring a goal. Basso comes out, gets there, bobbling around. It's going to fall for Lita. That just about sums up their efforts in front of goal recently.
Have possession down the right. McGugan getting away from MADEJSKI. He's got support in the middle. McGugan takes it on, shoots. Oh, and he scored. Forest have the lead out of nothing. Lewis McGugan picked up the ball on the halfway line, just ran away from Marat MADEJSKI, then cut inside to challenge on the edge of the box onto his left foot and fired it into the near post beyond Adam Federici, low and hard, and Forest have the lead.
Hunt or MADEJSKI to deliver this one. It looks like it is going to be Hunt. It's dipping onto the top of the crossbar, and Wednesday escape. A lucky let-off for the home side. Spot. Support from Gray. And Wednesday go all the way back to come forward. And on towards Clark. Strong play from Clark, and McAllister makes it 1-0. Beautiful strike on the volley. All the hard work done by Leon Clark, who held the ball up, and McAllister dispatched it absolutely perfectly. So the far post corner, this time in towards the near post. It's Hunt with a flick on, and Doyle with a header. 1-1 thanks to Kevin Doyle, and Reading have their first goal in 5 games. It's flicked on by Noel Hunt, who got there ahead of the Wednesday defenders, and Doyle nods Reading level. Again, referee Andy Hall says there's no foul, which again benefits Wednesday. One back by Dubry, and a really strong challenge in front of the referee by Dubry. And here's Hunt, and now Shane Long for Reading. This could be interesting, very interesting indeed. Long puts Reading into the lead. 10 minutes to go, and the visitors have come from behind to snatch a 2-1 lead, but the home fans are furious, and a lot of the players too, about the decision not to give a free kick for Michael Dubry's challenge. Into the 3rd minute of stoppage time now. It's a deep corner by O'Connor, and hacked off the line, and Reading escape, but it's still bubbling in there, and Hunt gets his body in the way, and now Grant with a wonderful save from Federici.
2 teams for whom the week so far has been pretty good. The Pilgrims making progress with back-to-back wins. The Royals showing revivalist tendencies at Hillsborough after a shaky spell. One enforced change for Plymouth. Left-back Barker Walker is ruled out by a family issue, so Gary Sawyer comes in. 5 of these 11 are here on loan. Gray and Cathcart from Manchester United, Carl Fletcher from Crystal Palace, and Alan Judge and leading scorer Paul Gallagher from Blackburn Rovers. Reading have lost Bryn Gunnarsson to hamstring trouble. Khalifa Cisse replaces him, and there's a change up front where the prolific Kevin Doyle is partnered by fellow Irishman Shane Long, who makes his first league start of 2009. Barnes, Gallagher! Really well worked. Glimmer on the face of the manager. But a 5th goal in 4 games for the Glaswegian on loan from Blackburn. Opportunistic finish, having been wonderfully set up by his teenage partner Ashley Barnes. He's now scored 12 times, which is as many as he's ever got in a season before. Doyle, Kebe. Hunt, left behind by Cathcart. Armstrong. Matejovski, it was a lovely ball in, and a super header by Pearce. Plymouth's advantage lasted just under 2 minutes. And in its own way, just as admirable as the goal at the other end. Hunt and Pearce denied a second goal by the sentry on the post. Armstrong, Kebe, now Dubry. That's the reason that you don't often see him on the left wing. But Reading, having trailed in this game, very nearly found their way in front. Dubry and Pearce both forward. That was Sipe. Perilously close to an own goal. Romain Larrieux having to move swiftly. And helped by the upright as well. Came off the thigh of Sipe. Plymouth announced yesterday that season ticket prices for next year have been frozen, and accompanied under-10s will get in free. Sign of the times, also the sign of a responsible club. Mackie. Nothing if not direct. What a goal that is! That's a thunderbolt from Jamie Mackie that Federici barely saw. Well, he doesn't score many. This one, he'll remember for the rest of his days. Enormous power. And having been fortunate not to concede at least one at the other end, Jamie Mackie has fired Plymouth in front for a second time. Judge on. Here's Fallon. Dubry left in a heap. Barnes! And Federici, having spilt the initial effort, grateful to be in position to make the follow-up save. And suddenly it's all Plymouth. Sipe. Sipe again. Rory Fallon, flags up, won't count. He doesn't know it yet, but it's been chalked off. Will Bull had his flag up good and early. Tight, but probably correct. Here's Doyle. Chance for Reading to equalise. And the deflection on the ball sent it spinning just wide. Doyle had the effort on target. Lario got just enough on it. Plymouth opened up with alarming ease. MADEJSKI, Kebe, Cisse off the bar and cleared by Fallon. Pearce brushing Hunt out of the way. Kevin Doyle. Nice shape on that. Pearce met it with his head. Also got a crack on the skull. But Khalifa Cisse was the most unlucky of the Reading players in the midst of all that. Green Army in good voice. MADEJSKI, long, here's Kebe, he's in behind Timar, and Jimmy Kebe has made it 2-2. A very coolly taken goal from the Mali international. Pace took him beyond the Hungarian Timar. Goalkeeper Lario exposed on his own, couldn't get to it. And Reading, deservedly, because they've had so many opportunities, are back on terms. MADEJSKI, 5 waiting. That clearance should do it. There's the final whistle. A hard-fought draw with Reading twice having to equalise. Jamie Mackey's pile driver was fit to win the game after Gallagher and Pearce had exchanged first-half goals. That it didn't was down to Jimmy Kebe 10 minutes from time. Plenty of work still to be done by both in the weeks ahead. It's finished in front of 14,000 at Home Park. Plymouth Argyle 2, Reading 2.
A little bit aggrieved. It was a great second goal for them. You know, to be fair, it was a hell of a strike, and you know, after that we had some real decent opportunities, hit the woodwork. You know, I think we had enough at that stage to have gone on and maybe nicked it.
We're playing the third top team in the league, potentially promotion candidates, and I think we've worked very hard and been very competitive.
We've got to work hard to pick up our points. We know that no one's going to give us any points, and today my players did, and I was well pleased for.
Starting to get a little congested in midfield. It's a good outlet ball though to Hunt, who had space to run into, and measures an early cross in towards Shane Long, who clips the outside of the post. Elliott was across to cover. Butterfield waits for the option. Aims for Tresor-Kandol. Gets himself rather tangled up, but then finds a little bit of space and has time to measure the cross here. Arriving late is Bailey, and Charlton have the lead. Nicky Bailey, who can't stop scoring in recent weeks, slots in at the far post to open the scoring for the Championship's bottom side, made by Tresor-Kandol. Finished off well by Nicky Bailey. It's Glenn Little, who has Rosinha on the overlap. Early ball is taken away by Ward, but only as far as Hunt off the post and then driven wide by Cisse, and somehow Reading failed to find the back of the net. It's Little again. Now Rosinha. Inside Kelly Yuga. Off Ward again, and Doyle! Oh, it clips his heel. He can't turn it inside the far post. Doyle and Hunt. Looks like it is to be Kevin Doyle, who aims for the far corner and clips the top of the crossbar. Wonderful effort from the Irishman, but just too high. So Reading get us back off and underway. Immediately played towards Shane Long, who's trying to muscle his way through here, and is still going all the way into the area. Here comes Ward with the scissors tackle and concedes a penalty just seconds into the second half. Anthony Taylor points to the spot. Elliott is furious, the Charlton goalkeeper, but Reading have the best possible start to the second half. Shane Long dusts himself down and prepares to attempt to give Reading parity here. Against Elliott, he slams it down the middle, and Reading are back on level terms Makes you wonder why more sides don't attempt that kind of start when they kick off. Certainly worked for Reading, who have now brought it back to 1-1. Yuga, follow running down the left-hand side. Time to measure the ball into the far post, where Armstrong just does enough to put off Xiangji. The ball's not away from danger yet, though. Driven back in and held on to well by Federici. It will be J-Tab to bend this one in. Plenty of the big men forward. There to his Long, who arrives late, loses his marker and heads Reading into the lead. Shane Long's second of the night, the first from the penalty spot, the second from a little bit closer, a bullet header. The home side lead. 7 minutes to go. Bailey to dispatch this one in towards the far post, and Hudson, who gets there first and somehow sneaks his header beyond Federici. It's a soft goal to concede for Reading. The heads go into the hands because Mark Hudson looks to have stolen a point here for Charlton. Now Candle with Ambrose breaking up on the right-hand side. Needs to play this right, and Charlton could be in for a third here. It is Darren Ambrose who fires all the way across, and Federici gets there first. Honours even at the full-time whistle. The spoils shared at the MADEJSKI. Reading 2, Charlton Athletic 2.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. Very good to be back. It's nice to see a lot of the lads and the coaching staff and directors and all the rest of it. I'm looking forward to getting started.
And looking forward to playing on Saturday potentially.
Well, no, I don't know about that. I mean, obviously, some involvement would be nice, whether it's on the bench or whatever. But no, we'll just see how it goes. Obviously, Shane scored a couple of goals, and hopefully that will kick him on. And Doyle has scored recently, so no, we'll just see how that goes.
I read comments that you were sort of disappointed that the team had broken up and that your heart was, to an extent, still back at Reading. So that's obviously a big part of your decision to come back here.
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, when Siddy went, and then Shorey and Glenn and myself, and I just felt that team had probably 2 or 3 more years in it, actually, maybe even more, and it was just a shame to see it really just break up. I felt prematurely. I felt at the time that it should have still been in the Premiership, and I was angry that for whatever reason it wasn't. It's Glenn coming back and myself coming back. Hopefully it'll just kick us on and get us back up there. I still feel that's where we belong.
Harper it is who's trying to get it clear under real pressure, and it comes towards John Stead with the acrobatic overhead kick, and that is an absolute wonder goal from John Stead. 2 minutes after the restart, Ipswich hit the home side with a sucker punch, and that may well be one of the best goals he'll ever score. Certainly one of his best of the season. Ipswich into the lead in emphatic fashion.
Good touch down the right-hand side, and Doncaster Rovers are looking dangerous again. It's John Spicer to the back post, lovely football, and Brian stopped wide. Real opportunity for Doncaster Rovers. Kitson again. Reading building towards something. They've withstood some pretty heavy pressure in this game. Oh, the defensive header only reached Jimmy Keeb, and it's over the bar. Here now is MADEJSKI. Czech player to the left-hand side, and Chris Armstrong. Back for Kitson! Oh, wonderful finish from Dave Kitson. A bit of Premier League class from the Stoke City loanee. And Reading's promotion hopes are going to take another big boost. Lovely left-footed finish from Dave Kitson. Doncaster 0, Reading 1.
In the Coca-Cola Championship tonight, to see last season's beaten playoff semi-finalists Crystal Palace take on a Reading side who is still desperate to finish in the top 2 places in the league. We're live from SELHURST Park on Sky Sports 1 and in high definition on HD1, channel 408.
You changed your formation in midweek against Doncaster. You're going 4-5-1 again now. Is it a case of keeping a winning formula?
I suppose so to a certain extent, but I'd like to think it's fairly flexible with Marek being very close to Kitson most of the time. So, you know, it's almost a 4-4-2, which is something obviously I prefer to play and have done over the years. I think an awful lot depends on how you're allowed to play, you know, and that's obviously down to Palace, the shape they have and the way the game just unfolds.
Neil, 8 games to go, 50 points on the board. What is this season all about for you now?
Just getting through, really. We've had horrific injuries. We've got 2 or 3 lads playing today that probably shouldn't be playing, but we're going to give it a go. We've got 2 weeks off after this game, and then we should have 3 or 4 lads back for the running. So, you know, optimistic, but it's always tough against Reading, isn't it? But I'm sure the lads that go out can give them a good game.
You mentioned it's tough against Reading. 11 matches against Steve Coppell's Reading. You've yet to win as a manager. Yeah. Is it time to redress the balance, put a spanner in the works for the promotion bid?
I can't see it changing tonight. But you never know in football, do you? I mean, my teams have usually played well against Reading and lost. So hopefully today we'll play poorly.
Thanks, Nick.
Been a frustrating season for Crystal Palace. Poor form since the turn of the year has seen them drop out of contention for the playoffs, but with 50 points at least they should have no worries about relegation. Injuries haven't helped, as you heard the manager say then, especially in defence. However, Matty Lawrence returns today after missing 3 games with a hamstring problem, and Jose Fonte has recovered from the hip injury that forced him off at half-time in the midweek defeat at Barnsley. Welsh international John Oster faces the club he left last summer. Steve Coppell changed his usual 4-4-2 formation for their midweek win at Doncaster, and although he sticks with the same personnel, this lineup does give him the flexibility to change again. There's plenty of experience with the likes of Michael Dewberry and James Harper, but it's up front where Reading really pose a threat. Dave Kitson's return from Stoke has taken some of the weight off Kevin Doyle, who scored a hat-trick in the reverse fixture at the MADEJSKI in August. No goalkeeper on the bench for Palace, normal practice for Neil Warnock's teams. Reading with plenty of attacking options in Stephen Hunt, Shane Long and Glenn Little. Well, there are a few more precarious jobs than managing a football club, and you need to be very good at it to reach 1,000 games. Steve Coppell passed that milestone earlier this week. Neil Warnock was already a member of the exclusive club, and now the 2 most experienced managers in the Championship go head-to-head. Soaring header there by SHEFFIELD. Clearance by Dewberry, not the most impressive perhaps, giving Moses the chance to get the ball into the box, which he delivers beautifully. And a man had to react. Dewberry and BK, the 2 central defenders, both forward. Good strong header away though, and Moses, I'm sure, will turn defence into attack here, and he does. And Armstrong in a real battle here. He's taken a risk. The whistle has gone, and interestingly, the decision has gone in Reading's favour. I believe that could have gone the other way very easily.
I quite agree with you, and he's not happy with that. The referee was a long way behind that. They left themselves very exposed here. Reading, there, he's pulling him back, and for me, that's the other way.
MADEJSKI. That's a clever ball for Kebe. He's got Harper up with him and slipped at the crucial moment.
Applying the credit again, he got back well, although he gives it away there.
Here he is again, and MADEJSKI again. Just couldn't sit down for the shot. It might for Gunnarsson though. And again. He did well to get the cross in. Did a very good start to this game.
Did excellently, didn't he? Gunnarsson right to the byline.
Over 1,000 Reading fans have made the pretty tortuous journey today along the M4 and south of the River Thames, and they're in good voice, seeing their team making a bright start here. Waiting for that to be played back to him on the edge of the box. However, they had other ideas, and the shot took a deflection. I think he's apologising to Gunnarsson that he didn't spot him.
I think he should have been played back. Got a lot of time, a lot of space here. Just left. He's allowed to bring it under control. Could have laid it back. Goes for glory. It's his team a corner though.
Play by Hill. Harper dived in a bit there. He might regret that. And Dubry's mistake. Stokes. Well saved. That's really good goalkeeping.
It is, but I think he gave him a chance there. I think he could have taken a moment earlier. Good for Hanneman's save. Decent ball by Kuchi. Puts Dubry under pressure. Take it there. Doesn't, goes a little bit wider. Just creates a better angle for Hanneman to come out and block it there. Makes himself big. It's a foot on it. That is an acute angle in the end.
Harper gets it away to MADEJSKI. Doyle switched over to the left now. Kitson down the centre. Not a bad ball, and Kitson got there and was certainly, shall we say, knocked to the ground.
Well, on first look, I thought that was a penalty. I must admit. You saw Kitson come in, just get across the defender. Doyle does ever so well, gets in there, gets the first touch, and he's convinced. There he comes across, there's the touch, and for me, he's caught him.
Short this time. Oh, and Hunt made the mistake. Kuchi really pouncing on it. Well, the crowd ordered him to shoot, and he duly obliged there. Very good effort by young Klein.
Well, he burst forward, latched onto it. When it comes out, his first touch is good. There, steadies himself, goes through a lot of bodies. It's a decent stop by Hanneman. Drifted wide, but he's not to know that.
Senior will get a ticking off at least here from referee Andy D'Urso. Punching challenge on Victor Moses, but it's going to be more than a telling off.
The senior said first challenge of any malice.
After winning this division 3 years ago now with a record 106 points, but they're finding it much harder this time around. They only lost 2 games in that season. They've already lost 9. There's Klein, an excellent first half for Palace. 17-year-old. It's a good ball as well to pick out Kuchi, and a clever back healer. Derry on to Moses. And Hanneman got lucky there.
Well, that's why it's in there. Experience. Didn't commit too early. Stood his ground. Decent strike.
Senior. Here's Kitson. And he's gone for that far corner again and was mighty close to finding it.
Knew exactly what he wanted to do, didn't he? As soon as he received that ball, and straight away. I know he's only just come on and there's 2 up front, but it allows the fullbacks to get forward a little bit further. They back off him, checks inside, knows exactly where he wants to put it, and nearly did. The senior gets forward, a lovely dummy there, allows Kitson the time. So to tee himself up and just can't hit the target.
It is Stokes. Ooh, and it wasn't far away.
It wasn't far away, but you saw Hanneman never even went for it. He knew it was going over.
Stokes allowed to turn. Moses, brilliant. Oh, it's got to be a penalty, hasn't it? Or is he saying it was on the edge of the box? He is.
Well, he's gone. It was a foul. I'm not so sure it was outside the box, though. And that's what the Palace players are saying.
Well, Rosinha is dismissed for a second yellow card. But I'm sure Crystal Palace would far rather have seen Mr. D'Urso pointing to the spot here. Let's have a look.
Terrific ability again. Oh, that is so close. Is that exactly on the line? Was it just inside? There, gets a touch. Oh dear, he's in the air, isn't he? There, gets the touch. And I would say that's just outside.
Kick. Could there be further punishment in store here for Reading? No.
That's poor. That's poor. Takes the pressure right off.
Given away again. Master will pump it straight back in. Hanneman's clear punch out. Gary along the ground, Moses shoots, deflected away by Hunt, and Hanrahan was scrambling backwards. Relieved to see that one go over from SHEFFIELD.
When you see him attack it like that, you do worry, don't you?
Straight onto the head of Conte. Here's Ostap. And the former Reading man's got a lot of space ahead of him here. Hands is in the centre, edge of the box, and unmarked at the moment. Here he is!
Well, he's leaning backward when it comes to him, and it's a decent break, and he's trying to lift his players.
Here's Moses. He sucked them all in again! And it was so close to producing a goal. Klein keeps it in play. Cucci calling for the high ball near the penalty spot. Quite the cross he was looking for, though.
Dewberry dealt with that one well, didn't he?
Long. And that's a corner.
Well, is there a sting in the tail? Here comes Dewberry. Here comes Beaky. I'm surprised Cisse's not in there.
Harper to take it. Dewberry wins the header, but no power at all.
There's nobody in front of the goalkeeper, was there?
Well, this would be it, the final opportunity of the game. And there is the final whistle. Reading remain 4 points behind Birmingham, third in the championship table. But in view of the fact that they had to play for much of the second half with only 10 men, I'm sure Steve Coppell will be satisfied with that result. A lot of big decisions for referee Andy D'Urso. It has ended here at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace 0, Reading 0.
Well, it's a valuable point. Coming here, it's a difficult place to come to at the best of times. I thought we did okay, but obviously disrupted the second half, losing a man. It's never easy, but this year we've picked up some real valuable points with 10 men.
Any complaints about the sending off in the end?
Well, you're at pitch level, you can't see it very well. I'm not sort of hiding from it, but you know, I couldn't get a real good opinion of it. Their winger did well, you know, he was a handful all night, so you know, I'll wait to see it later.
On the subject of decisions, did you feel that you should have had a penalty in the first half when Dave Kitson went down?
I did, to be honest. I thought he had a nice touch at the near post. I thought his legs were taken from him, and you know, it was a good opportunity. So I did feel we should have got something, but it evens itself out. You know, Neil's complaining about something at the end of the game. You know, he was going on about some penalty claim. It's what the championship is all about. You know, it's real blood and thunder every week, and you have to accept it sometimes.
And it goes left-footed, great delivery. Coventry clear their lines, but there's still a chance for the visitors. That thing to the far post, it's nice, it's Sean Long. Can't quite get it under control, and it should be cleared. Fox, who normally delivers such an accurate set piece, it is a good one. Ball's bouncing around. Morrison's in there and goes down. It's very scrappy and then fired wide. That rather sums up this first half so far. Think forward looking for Leon Best. He does really well. Now it's on to Freddie Eastwood, who, out of everybody on the pitch, has looked the most lively. Does really well, it's Best. Can he get there ahead of Hanneman? The American goalkeeper comes out, and didn't he do well? Had to get it, and he clutches it gratefully. Fox will be favourite, and scored some wonderful free kicks. This time he goes to the far post, it's a good delivery. Ball's bouncing around, straight at Hanneman. Here's Best, he's looked lively since coming on at the break. Can he create something for Coventry City to take the lead? Top of the bar instead of the back of it. 3 games without scoring going into this one, Reading. They wanted maximum points with the top 2 playing on Monday night. Might be a chance here from distance. Well, that's a good effort. Kieran Westwood was certainly worried in the Coventry goal.
In the Coca-Cola Championship, it's 4th against 3rd. Reading Sheffield United, live from the MADEJSKI Stadium.
Looking at your home form here at the MADEJSKI, it's no wins in 5. How do you as manager account for that?
Well, prior to that, it was 12 in 14, 15, whatever it was. You know, I think it's just the swings, the ebbs and flow of a normal season. You like to have consistency. It doesn't always work out that way. You know, we've got an opportunity today to get right back on track. I don't think either side needs to acknowledge how important the game is. It's just one of those fixtures. It stands out here, so you know it's everything to play for.
Reading have gone off the boil since the start of the year, but they're still in a great position. Only the leaders, Wolves, have scored more goals, and today they have leading scorer Kevin Doyle back alongside Dave Kitson. Changes to in midfield. Jimmy Kebe returns on the right, Stephen Hunt on the left, and Marek Matejowski is a late replacement for the injured James Harper. Sheffield United are the form team in the Championship. They've averaged 2 points a game over the last couple of months, and they have a superb away record. Matt Kilgallen returns in the centre of defence after injury, and there's a starting place for goal-scoring midfielder Brian Howard. He'll play just behind Darius Henderson, who came through a fitness test on his injured knee to lead the attack against his former club. Glenn Little, J-Tab and Shane Long all drop down to the bench for Reading. Sheffield United take the risk of not naming a sub-keeper, even though Paddy Kenny has a slight injury. Well, the last time they were both in this division, Reading and Sheffield United were promoted to the Premier League. Reading as runaway champions, United clear of the field in second place, but it's much, much tighter this time. Just 6 points separate those teams in the playoff places, and there's at least one automatic spot up for grabs. The leaders, Wolves, moved on to 80 points with that emphatic victory over Southampton earlier, and are now odds on to win promotion.
When you're on your own pitch and you can't win, you can't score, things are going against you, the fans get on your back.
Kitson trying to get them off to a good start, and from that angle and that distance, that was a terrific effort.
Why not have a go from this angle, from this distance? Try and catch the goalkeeper cold early in the game. You look when he latches onto it, there's nobody in the middle, so he thinks, right, let's have a go. See if he is caught cold, but he isn't. Sees it across the face, it's a decent strike.
Alford, a former Reading player, although he only had a few months here. In it goes again towards Morgan or Henderson. The header well off target in the end. Clever ball by Ward, but Reading have it back. For long, Kilgallen's interception. It's a good layoff again from Henderson, and he gets it back. He's got Howard up ahead of him. A little bit of space for Halford, who can hit the ball.
Well, that's a build-up full of confidence, wasn't it there?
Kitson it was who got it clear, back through the crowd of players. Oh, it's Halford who scored! However, the linesman's flag cut short his joy.
Well, this is why the goal was disallowed. Don't defend it that well. There's the ball struck, and you can see the linesman is well in place. Halford puts it in really well, but the flag does go up, and rightly so.
Kebe. It's broken kindly for Kelly, and he took it beautifully. It's a great effort, and although the keeper fumbled it, he kept it out, and that was the important thing from Armstrong. Kitson right on the line. It was Kilgallen who got that one clear, but it will be pumped straight back in again. Dewberry got something on it, and again.
Well, you have to say, it may have felt the wrong man.
Armstrong pumps it in long toward Dewberry. Morgan is right with him. It's come out to BK. Clever skill from the centre-back, but I'm afraid the shot, well, it was a centre-back's effort, wasn't it?
It was in the end. He knew what he'd just done. A little bit of skill.
Good ball. Doyle. Gets it in early. Kebe on the back post. There was a claim now for a penalty. Well, a loud claim as well.
The crowd went up. The Reading players went up. Unfortunately, the flag didn't go up, and the referee's whistle didn't go in his mouth. Well, they wanted a penalty here. The fans, the players, the arm is up. Did it just brush it before he headed it clear? Right at the far post, the arm's up again. I think there's a touch there on his arm before it hits his head.
To prevent the corner.
He looked in the box again there. Kitson was in there. Kebe was hanging out at the far end of the box, but midfield players have got to break in there as well.
There's Kebe. Ward having lost possession. Kitson! Off the top of the crossbar.
Well, that's the best bit of quality we've seen come in. Kenny not happy at all with his defenders. But that's what Kitson does. That's the service he needs. And this time he gets it. This time they do get it wide. And this is Paddy Kenny rooted to the spot. Really good strike play. Tack the near post. Just can't get it under that crossbar.
And that's lifted the crowd spirits. However, that challenge by BK has given Sheffield United a free kick. BT's first involvement since he came off the bench. BK defending it well. MADEJSKI. BT. Turned on by Halford. Ward's cross to the far post. Kilgallen is still up there from the area set piece. Oh, and it's Sheffield United's turn to be denied by the woodwork, but they have snatched the first goal. Howard, the scorer, a crucial strike.
Well, they had got more positive. The substitution was a sign of that. It's a decently worked ball here. It's a decent ball. It's a bubbly pitch and doesn't Kilgallen do well. Puts it back across, comes off the bar. You think they've got out of jail there, but he keeps it down, hits the target. Slight deflection by the look of it. This ball's not that bad because Kilgallen's there. Intelligent use of it back into the danger area. Think they've got away. And there, just a slight deflection. But this is the important bit. Kilgallen's header. Howard pounces on it, takes the pace off it. There is a deflection, and that confuses Hanneman. And vital thing, it's a target.
Well, Brian Howard was bought from Barnsley for his ability to score goals from midfield, as we see what could have been an instant equaliser. Kitson denied again. It wasn't the crossbar this time. It was superb goalkeeping.
What a response this is, by the way. This is tremendous ability. Slightly behind him, wraps his leg round it, gets round his marker, and Paddy Kenny, that is a terrific save.
Well, we waited a long time for this game to come to the boil, but my word, it's boiling now.
That ball's not in the D.
And the header has gone straight back across goal there. He admits his mistake there, BT. Here's Kelly. Kitson with a great header on. Hunt's in the middle, well placed. The layoff was a bit too heavy though. Little tried to get onto it. And then Tab shot pulled wide.
Well, what a tackle by Morgan. But it broke to Tab, and he knew what a big opportunity this was. Ball's put across. Bounces out. Look at Morgan, where he comes from. Look at the bravery there. Comes to Tab, just cuts across it.
There's Tab. This will get it back to him. Now young Kelly. Plenty in the box here. Kitson was one of them. And Kenny was suddenly scrambling across goal. There's a decent chance for the other Hunt. There's Kitson. It's unfortunate it just went in behind Hunt. Alpha, that's good composure by him. And Henderson is through here. He could finish off his old team. And maybe he should have done.
That was almost in slow motion, that, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it's broken for BT. And he's got Henderson up in support this time. Pushed out by Hanneman. And are almost home and dry. They are. There's the final whistle. A vital win for Kevin Blackwell's team. Strong, solid, disciplined, organised, and most importantly of all, in form and how.
Stephen Hunt with this corner for the visitors, Reading. And he's picked out a teammate. In fact, he's picked out his brother. Noel Hunt with a spectacular celebration. And Reading are ahead. Reading bringing it clear. This is Keeby. Kelly is overlapping. Plenty in the centre for Reading. And it's onto the crossbar, but the goalkeeper can only stand and watch as Karakan puts it into the net, and Reading have doubled their lead. Vaughan with the corner. Michael Dewberry with the header away. Still plenty of Blackpool shirts in the penalty area. Adam on the ball here, trying to get the cross in, which he does. And they're back in it. Keith Southern. Craney. This is Vaughan. Neat work by Blackpool. Campbell getting away from his marker. Options going into the penalty area now. Oh, it must be an equaliser. Oh no, it's been missed. But put in, it's 2-2. Campbell wheels away. Joy for him. Relief for O'Donovan, who nearly made a complete hash of this. How did he miss from there? It doesn't matter though, because Campbell has made it 2-2.
Home fans urge their side on. Only one real target in the box. Pulls it back anyway. Now can he finish? Good save, Lee Steele. 3 men over it. Clearly a well-rehearsed routine. It was struck firmly, but straight at Marcus Hanneman. Hunter with this in, normally delivers such a good set piece. It was a fine ball, and surely the header should have been on target at least. Stephen Hunt over the free kick again. It's another great delivery. Well, it seemed to go beyond him before he realised just what a good chance it was. 24 for this free kick. Barnsley desperate for the points, just like Reading, but for very different reasons. Might be an opportunity. It's not pretty. It's struck well at Hanneman, who does very, very well indeed to save it. Reading should clear their lines. They've got a free kick. Plenty of time for Dewberry to come away with the ball. That's a poor back header now. Is it going to drop in? Steele's backpedaling quickly and is very relieved to see it go past the post. 3 men in support. Might not need them. Brilliant jinking run. Now can it have a finish to match? Kept the ball well. Now can he pick somebody out? Cries of handball. Might still be a chance. Good save from Steele once more. Well, when he's been called upon, he's done very well indeed. Lovely turn. That's a great ball into the box. Kitson misses and then blazed over at the far post. Another chance goes begging. Pump forward. If they don't get the goal, it's going to be 7 successive home games without a win. It's Kitson. Too close to Steele. Will they cross or shoot? Clever back heel. It's caught Barnsley out, really. Well over in the end. On to Campbell Rice. So often the architect of good things for Barnsley. Pulls it back this time. Reading fans desperate for something. This would surely all but end their automatic hopes. It's Kitson header. And that is the last action of this game.
Before joining Stoke, here come Reading though. Ball crossed towards the back post, header onto it, and it's headed straight back central, and Reading have almost taken the lead, but the referee's assistant's flag was up. Well, Gary, I halted because of what happened to Tito Villa at the weekend. Quite right to halt this time. Flag was up, but for a second there it looked like that was the easiest tap-in for Reading man Long on the back post.
It did, but if you remember at Palace on Saturday, a couple of times long throw or quick throw-ins, we came undone.
2 minutes gone. It's still 0-0 on BBC Radio Derby, live here at Pride Park this evening. The Rams, of course, need 2 points to make sure of safety, mathematically sure of safety. 1 point could be enough, but that will come down to goal difference. And there's been a mix-up at the back for the Rams. Shane Long's through, but referee's assistant has saved the Rams for a second time. Andy Todd slipped, looks down at the ground, no man covering. Long slips it into the net, but the referee's assistant has his flag up.
Yeah, I think it was actually Martin Albrechtsen that slipped. He's just picking the mud off his boots. I can't see what mud he's going to pick off there because it's not absolutely on there. But once again, you know, it's another momentary lapse of concentration that could have allowed Reading in. It was Kitson just left it, didn't he? And I'm actually struggling to see how that exactly was offside. But, you know, again, it just shows that, you know, we switch off. All of a sudden, you could have conceded 2 goals.
Here come the Rams with Rob Hulse, edge of the 18-yard box, toes it out wide left to Gary Teal. Teal back into Hulse, got a bit of space as Hulse puts it on his right boot, fires it low. Didn't get it on target. The Rams' top goal scorer, perhaps he should have. So here it's 0-0 so far, 4 minutes gone. Reading bustling through, trying to win it with Kitson out wide on the right-hand side. Looks to spread the play to Liam Rossini into Glenn Little. Lovely turn, sliding challenge comes in from Bannon. That was so important from the Villaloney on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's done really well, and the Rams can come away with the ball. Awful pass backwards though for Derby, and it slipped through for Kitson, edge of the 6-yard box, tipped over the bar by Bywater. Well, subtlety of a sledgehammer from Dave Kitson, he really went for it. But the Rams in all sorts of problems at the back, with lapses in concentration and judgment, Gary.
I'm not sure who played that ball sideways, but it was an absolutely suicidal pass.
Here come Reading down the right-hand side. If Rossini can make it, Teal's there battling for it. He's been dispossessed by Long, though. They're an industrious side, this Reading team. It's whipped over, Kitson's there, and again the referee's assistant has got his flag up. Third time the ball's been in the back of the net for Reading. We've only had 7 minutes. Third time it's been ruled out for offside. Close control wasn't good enough, and Reading come away with it down the left-hand side. Shane Long's managed to drift around Connolly, and he's slipped in Glenn Little, edge of the 18-yard box, in a bit of space, pulls the trigger just wide of the left-hand post. Saw an opening for a second, Glenn Little struck it really well, just wide of the left-hand post. I don't think there'd have been much Bywater could have done about it, Gary.
No, there wouldn't have been. I think Lewin Nyatanga just tucked in too far on his two centre-half.
This evening it's with Glenn Little drifting infield, halfway inside the Rams half, 54 gone, 0-0. Little's still running with the ball. The Rams haven't managed to close down his outlet to the left-hand side in Kebe either. Kebe puts it on his right boot, gets the cross away, Kitson arriving. Well, Nyatanga and Albrechtsen were static, and Kitson just arrived, nodding it into the right-hand post. It's easy for Reading, who celebrate on this right-hand side. It's another defensive disaster for Derby. Here at Pride Park, Derby County 0, Reading 1.
Yeah, very poor goal to concede. The ball went wide. I think it was Little who did a little bit of a trick in midfield, kept on the ball for 3 or 4 touches, and then he played it wide to Kebe. Came inside Connolly at ease. He opened up the space of about 5 or 6 yards, and he could have literally picked his pass. In the end, he just whipped a ball into an area, didn't he? And then, just as you see, 2 centre-halves in there, Kitson comes across the pair of them. They don't know where he is, and he nods it home. It was a fantastic finish. BK has done a lot of times down the other side, and Kitson this time was having none of it. He just swiped through Lewin Nyatanga, hasn't he? It's a cheap one.
Poor touch by Nyatanga, and now Reading have got free. They beat the offside trap with Long, one-on-one with Bywater. Long slots it into the corner. Every man looks at the linesman, but he kept his flag down, and Shane Long was allowed to just bustle through, beat Bywater confidently and comfortably into the bottom right corner. Reading have doubled their leads. The Rams have ran ragged again. Oh dear, at Pride Park. It is Derby County 0, Reading 2.
Reading are back in the race for automatic promotion with Birmingham and Sheffield United. Their only hope is to win tonight and then topple the Blues on the final day. It's that or the playoffs. But Norwich are facing a fight for survival. They're 3 points adrift, and only a win will keep their fate in their own hands. Good news for Reading. They have their top scorer Kevin Doyle fit again, but he must make do with a place on the bench. Well, they haven't enjoyed playing at the MADEJSKI recently, but tonight they have the perfect playing surface here at Carrow Road. Live from the Coca-Cola Championship, it's relegation-threatened Norwich City against Reading, still chasing a top 2 spot. We're live on Sky Sports 1 and in high-definition HD 1.
Steve, other results have given your side another chance of automatic promotion. How are you expecting your players to respond tonight?
Well, it's just another game for us to try and win. You know, we go into every game trying to win, and we can't try any harder. And it'll be the case tonight. We just come here, obviously aware of the situation for both teams, and it's the great kind of game you want to be in at the end of the season.
You know that Norwich are going to come at you tonight. They're going to be on the front foot. Is that something that suits the way your players play?
I don't know. We'll soon find out. They need to win, and we obviously need to win. So, you know, 2 teams who will be prepared to go forward, throw men forward. I hope it'll be an exciting game for everyone watching, and we trust that, you know, the best team will win.
Thanks, Steve.
Cheers.
This is the side that Brian Gunn has picked for Norwich's final home game of the season, and one of the most important at Carrow Road in years. He knew he'd be without David Mooney in attack. He's on loan from Reading and ineligible. So Cody MacDonald continues his meteoric rise, his first start 2 months since his recruitment from Ryman League Dartford. Australian David Carney, on loan from promotion battlers Sheffield United, comes in to replace Lee Croft, who has a calf strain. Well, after ending a 5-game winless run at Derby in midweek, Steve Coppell was hoping to stick with the same 11, but J-Tap's illness has prevented him from doing so. Khalifa Cisse, who was stretchered off in distress in our last live Reading match against Sheffield United, is in to replace him. Shane Long, so often an impact substitute, gets another start as top scorer Kevin Doyle is still making his way back to match fitness. Well, ex-Reading man Jamie Cureton amongst the Norwich substitutes, the aforementioned Doyle and Stephen Hunt in reserve for the Royals. Plenty of firepower there. Reading, one of those seeking to buck that trend and bounce back at the first time of asking. Well, Norwich need a win to keep control of their fate. Reading require victory to avoid the playoff path. It's a massive Monday night in the Championship at Carrow Road. The second place possible for Reading if they win both games here tonight and at home to Birmingham City on Sunday. If Sheffield United don't win at Crystal Palace. Well, for Norwich, there are no complicated permutations, no statistical quirks. Win both games, and a championship place will be theirs next season. One home victory in Reading against Reading in that period. Low lit drop, Alan Lee as ever fighting for it. Darryl Russell to fire it.
That is a decent attempt.
He's got it through to Jimmy Kebe here. Opportunity for Reading. Shane Long. Oh, great block by Shackle.
Brilliant block by Shackle.
It will be Klingon.
Well, certain parts of the ground thought that's cracked into top corner.
This is Kitson. Little fall for Carney, who let fly. It wasn't that far away either.
It's a terrific strike, and you knew it was nearly trouble. You watch Hanneman. Played into him now. Strikes from a distance, and look, he's scrambling. He knows it's a decent attempt, and it is a decent attempt. Doesn't dip in the end. But Hanneman just going backwards.
Being readied, it's not a bad man to have in reserve. Member of the Championship Team of the Year. Here's McDonald. He really is taking his opportunity by the scruff of the neck. What a run that was, but in the end curtailed.
It was fabulous to look at, but he should have played it wide to Lee, who was in a terrific position.
This is Alan Gower, trying to repeat the dose here. Down Reading's throats here. And struck by Klingon.
He could strike a super ball, doesn't he?
Otsemabor. Beyond Russell, but it's fallen kindly for Alan Gower.
Well, straight away as he turned, he saw the opportunity, saw exactly where he wanted to put this.
Many Wolves have scored more than Reading have on the road this season. It's Harding who lifts it in there. It's Stephen Hunt who fights for it.
Pressure.
Now Long. It's a good search from Shane Long.
Well, one thing in his mind was that get in the box. Try to run Shackle. Sees he's one-on-one, goes for it. Sure there's a cross or a shot. Tempo in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
It's getting to that time, isn't it, where any opening could be so crucial. This is Jimmy Kebe, and Long is there! Vital goal for Reading, and a real massive blow for Norwich City.
Well, quality has undone Norwich. They were appealing for offside, didn't look it to me. They're capable of this. Doesn't look any danger here, but they don't close it down. They're just one touch away. Nobody picks him up at the far post. Won't get an easier chance. It is quality. It is attacked, and it's in the back of the net. How important will this be to Reading towards the end of this season? Post at the far post. Cracking delivery. They wanted offside. They didn't get it. Well,
Kebe. He's got a decent ball in there again. It's Long again! And the automatic promotion path is opening up for Reading. Well, Norwich City have lost control of their own destiny.
I'll tell you something, he's not the biggest in the world, but what a header this is. Second header, second assist from Kebe. Look, no danger, does there there? Closing down, don't let him cross it. They let him cross it. Look at this for a header. It may be a little push, but nobody appealing. It's a really good cross, should have been closed down, wasn't, and that is an absolutely top quality header. Because he's off balance, we watch when it comes across, not easy, has to generate the power, and doesn't he direct it superbly into that corner. Giving Marshall not a chance. It's a classic header, absolute classic.
Well, nearly there in terms of the points tonight. Indeed, Reading have got them. Shane Long, the match winner for Reading, and their long shot for automatic promotion is very much on. The odds certainly shortening. Their destiny not in their own hands, and the same can be said for Norwich City now, who had a real chance to take control of their fate in the bid to avoid relegation.
Shane, many congratulations. A huge win for Reading. Was it no more than you deserved tonight?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought we played well. The first half we were threatening to score all half, and we came in knowing that we have 45 minutes to put us where we want to be. We've put ourselves in with a chance now of going straight up, and I know we're dependent on other results, but we've given ourselves the best chance possible.
2 goals on the night. Have you scored too many more important ones than those?
No, I suppose not. No, they were put straight in my head by Jimmy. He put it straight in my head, and all I had to do was finish it off. It's nice to get 2 goals. It would be nice to get the hat-trick, but sure, you can't be too greedy, I suppose.
Your strike partner did well for you tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, it was fantastic. He has been since he's been back in the team. You know, runs the channels, honest as the day as long. He's just fantastic for us, and put a terrific shift today. And as he says, Jimmy, when you've got someone like that out on the wide who can put the ball on your head like that, and to be fair, the second one was a fantastic header. Did really well to get that one in, and gave us a breathing space to go on.
This was always going to be a tough game for Reading, wasn't it, tonight? It was a night for some strong characters out there.
Yeah, well, I felt we acquitted ourselves pretty well. We're off the back of a good win at Derby, 2-0 up there as well. And this was another solid performance. I thought the groundwork was done in the first half. We played some nice stuff. We were unfortunate to lose Glenn Little. He was having a good game. But I felt we wore him down, and when the first one went in, the heads drop. When you're in that situation, we've been in it. It's not nice, and it just makes it that little bit easier for you.
But they just worked hard. You know, it was going to be a red-hot atmosphere. We knew that. You know, it means so much to Norwich, the club, the supporters, the players, and we knew it would be a real high-tempo game. It seemed for a long time as if, both sides wanted to win so badly that there wasn't going to be any goals. But, a nice slick surface, and, Shane's goal was a good goal. Great play from Jimmy Keevy. And that just put us in a controlling situation, really.
So often an impact player coming off the bench, Shane Long. How pleased were you for him and his contribution tonight?
Well, he's hated the label. He doesn't want to be the sub who comes on and makes a difference. He's been desperate to really make an impact as a starting player, and he's beginning to do that. Just the regularity of playing gives you the confidence, and it's shown in his displays, and the balance with kits, and it looks okay at the moment.
So now it goes to the Birmingham game back at the MADEJSKI Stadium on Sunday. What should your players take from tonight's performance into that one, do you feel?
Well, nothing, absolutely nothing. It's a game in isolation again. A team who've got everything to play for. They're still in the boss seats. They'll come out and they've got to try and win the game. And for us, we just want to finish the season on the high if we can. But it'll be 2 big boys fighting it out.
It's a final day shootout between Birmingham, Sheffield United and Reading for the last automatic promotion place to the Premier League. After 45 matches, we're down to 3 teams, 2 games and 1 huge prize. Three teams separated by just 3 points going into this, the final day. But only one of those 3 can be promoted this afternoon. Reading thought their chance had gone, but back-to-back away wins have kept them in the race. And now they must conquer their demons at home, where they haven't won in 7. Their top scorer, Kevin Doyle, on the bench today. Well, Birmingham blew their big chance to clinch it in front of their own fans last weekend. Well, they have the heart to finish the job away from home. Their top scorer, Kevin Phillips, starts. Last season, they were fighting for survival on the final day of the Premier League season. Today, it's all about an instant return for Reading and Birmingham City in the Coca-Cola Championship. Live from the MADEJSKI Stadium on Sky Sports 1 and in high definition on HD1, Channel 408. Let's clear it all up for you then. Birmingham in pole because they have possession. They'll be promoted if they win or if they draw, and Sheffield United don't win. Sheffield United will be promoted if they win, and Birmingham don't win here. Reading, on the other hand, will be promoted only if they win and Sheffield United fail to win.
A couple of weeks ago, it looked as though a top 2 finish was beyond Reading. Therefore, how much are your players enjoying this opportunity, relishing the prospect?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I think people were questioning our ability to even make the playoffs, and to now be guaranteed that situation, then, as I say, I think this is just a good day for us. Whatever happens, we're involved in the thick of things and got plenty to play for.
Given that you have to win the game today, how concerned are you about the recent home record?
Yeah, it's got to be of concern, but I think this game is such a game in isolation. It doesn't really bear a great deal of connection to the rest of the season. It almost seems like a cup final in many respects, so it's not connected, and I would hope that the form is not connected as well.
So back-to-back wins for Reading for the first time in 2009 to carry them into this final day showdown. But a couple of changes to the side that started the win against Norwich on Monday. Glenn Little's hamstring injury, as we know, opens the door for Stephen Hunt's return on the right of midfield. And Jay Tabb has recovered from illness that kept him out of the match at Carrow Road. He retakes his place behind Shane Long, whose 2 goals against Norwich on Monday set up this terrific final day. Well, Lee Bowyer is suspended for Birmingham, so Lee Carsley back into the heart of their midfield, but a big miss in the heart of their defence. Player of the Year Frank Goodreau ruled out, so Martin Taylor starts his first game for nearly 2 months. Goals needed, of course, so Alec McLeish looks to the predator Kevin Phillips, and the power alongside him of Cameron Jerome. Reading able to leave their top scorer on the bench thanks to the form of Shane Long, so Kevin Doyle fit again but kept in reserve. Birmingham also with firepower to call on if required, Gary O'Connor, and Marcus Bent missing out in the McLeish mix. So give or take 6 weeks of a 9-month season, Birmingham have been the ones in the automatic promotion places. They start this Sunday afternoon now. Can, though, they take the most significant step of all on a ground where they've never run, in a town where they haven't won for 14 years. 1 of 3 behind Wolves could join them in the Premier League next season. Behind them, only 2 playoff places have to go into 3. And, of course, at the other end of the table, it's between Barnsley and Norwich for championship survival. Up and down the land, 7 out of the 12 games kicking off in the Coca-Cola Championship all have a bearing on which division various clubs might play in next season. We will keep you up to date with every kick that counts.
Well, this is what it's all about, isn't it? Comes down to it, like you say, 7 out of the other games. Lots of things riding on it. It's all about pressure. Who's going to deal with it the best? We'll soon see.
Kebe for Reading. And a shot from Karachan.
Well, the one thing Birmingham City are going to know is that Reading are going to come at them right from the off, because Reading have got one thing in their mind. They know they've got to win this game, and so they get the play in, the ball moving really quickly, and they get their first shot in anger. A little bit wild, but it's a positive start from the home team.
On loan, of course, from Portsmouth at the moment, Jimmy Traore. Reading will look down the other side of the pitch to their Mali international, Jimmy Kebe. Kebe's shot! Straight at Taylor.
What about this for a diagonal ball? Andre Biquet pings it 60 yards crossfield to Jimmy Kebe. Glenn Hoddle would have been proud of that. And Kebe then, we know he's got the ability. straight at the goalkeeper. Best part of Reading's game so far this afternoon.
McFadden, Carsley there, didn't get enough. Phillips. Jaidi and big Martin Taylor, they're both forward. Here is the left boot of James McFadden. And Cameron Jerome at the near post, the closest Birmingham player to it. Drilled back in by James McFadden, cushioned by Phillips. And spilled by Marcus Hanneman. Would you believe it? Keith Fahey's shot, too hot to handle, and Reading behind. Fahey again for Birmingham.
Well, I think he's probably as surprised as anybody in the ground to see that ball nestle in the back of the net. It wasn't the cleanest hit he's ever had, but poor Marcus Hanneman has been so solid for Reading over all these years. He's not going to enjoy what he sees here. But watch Phillips, he reads the ball back in, knocks it back to Fahey, and once he cuts inside, he's going to shoot. And I think Hanneman is complaining that Jaidi there is offside. Swings a leg at it, doesn't make any contact, but the goalkeeper has got to do better than that. And it's an uphill task for the Reading players now, but he doesn't care. It's perfect for Alex McLeish and Birmingham City.
Wanted too long on it. Stolen by James McFadden, who has Jerome to his right. Jerome up through the gears, early shot. Doesn't spill it this time, though, Marcus Hanneman. Karachan delivers with good pace, came all the way through to Dubry at the far post as well, who maintains he was having his jersey pulled.
Well, Kitson misses it, and Dubry misses it. It's a super ball in, isn't it? Kitson, there's his chance, he misses it, and it's a little bit behind Michael Dubry in his defence, but I think the real chance is Kitson's there. If he gets any kind of decent contact, gets that on target, Reading could be back in this.
Tab, Harding. Got that all wrong, but still able to get it through to Jem Karachan. Now Rossigna. Better spell this for Reading. Rossigna tries to go round the outside, fizzed in. Well, it was on the plate for someone, but no one stepped up.
Well, look at Shane Long. He's got his hands on his head because he can't believe that as a striker in form, he does not attack that ball, because if he does, he's got the easiest goal he will ever score. And that pretty much sums up Reading's opening half.
And more strong defending, only as far as Tab.
Well, we know he's got it in his locker, J-Tab. And again, once he chests this down, it's a decent hit. Just can't get the ball to drop down quick enough. But it's the moment before that, for me, is pivotal in the first half. Rossigna does brilliant, fizzes it across, and look, Shane Long is just not anticipated that that ball is going to come. He's got a tap in, look, it just stands, doesn't go forward. And his reaction tells you everything you need to know. Should have been in there.
Here's Kitson. Kepe in a lot of space at the far post. It's Long. Got in ahead of Jaidi.
Well, that's what we were talking about. We're talking about getting crosses in and strikers attacking. It's ironically, it's Kitson who's playing the ball in. A couple of little deflections, but Shane Long this time gets in there the way he would have hoped to have done in the first half.
He's the man that gets the goal, you know, himself, Shane, and Kit's up front right now.
Phillips onside to finish it! With half an hour to go, Birmingham City in the box seat now. Surely they are heading back to the Premier League.
Well, if there's one player you want on the end of that, if you're Alex McLeish, it's Kevin Phillips. Big game player, and he comes good on all big occasions. Does he time his rump to perfection here? It's played in, it's tight. I know it's tight, but as he goes there, he's just onside. That is really, really tight, and he gets the benefit of the doubt. And once he's there, you know he's going to hit the target, you know he's going to stay calm, and you know that he's going to put Birmingham City 2-0 up and probably back in the Premier League. Super finish.
Well, quite often they score one. Very seldom they score two. Just 3 times in their previous 24 games have Birmingham got more than one goal. Now they have a cushion. Now they have half an hour to negotiate, and they're there. Rossigna, Kitson. Reading look for the immediate response, and they get it! Marek Matějovský make sure that Birmingham's path will not be as easy as they hoped.
Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon, and he's got to be livid. Got to be so angry, because Reading don't really have to work very hard at all to get this goal. Now then, Kitson possibly offside there, to be fair, but once he gets it there, he feeds it back, and MADEJSKI's allowed to cut inside, and he's allowed to get the shot in. Not really much of a challenge from Damien Johnson. May take a little deflection en route. Reading don't care, they're back in this game. Mike Taylor got no chance. Game on again. Birmingham have dealt with everything they've had to throw at them until the goal. Since the goal, it's been Reading really asking the questions, as you can see.
MADEJSKI, he's the one who got the goal, sizes up for another. Here it's Marek MADEJSKI. It's a brilliant save. That was heading for the top corner, still alive. Down goes Long, waved away by Howard Webb. Reading coming closer to number 2.
Wow. Looked like it may have just snuck in. It's a decent save by Mike Taylor. It had to be. It's what happened afterwards. MADEJSKI does really well. Flicks the ball up, but then he palms it away. And Shane Long, there's a little coming together there, but I think Shane Long's theatrical dive makes it easy for Howard Webb. Went down really, really easily.
Here's Shane Long, just snuck in behind, but Taylor, perhaps his very presence was enough to rush Long. Kebe hugging the touchline. Dubry's up and has joined the attack. Here's his fellow centre-half, BK. Not a bad ball in at all. And at the near post, Long couldn't quite do enough.
Well, it's not bad, it's absolutely brilliant. Great feet by the big centre-half. Half a yard, works it and whips it in. It's a super ball in. You can see Shane Long again at the near post, just trying to get a tiny little glance. Just gets a little bit too much on it.
Birmingham all hands on deck to try and deny MADEJSKI another shooting opportunity. Here's O'Connor, his fresh legs to test surely the towering limbs of Dubry and Rossini. O'Connor! Oh, it's back off the post!
Well, every game has got a defining moment in it, hasn't it? And I just wonder, that certainly would have been it, wouldn't it? Game, set and match, Premier League, here we come. It's great play, he's on his own, he goes by himself, it's a perfect strike. And how unlucky is that? He's beaten Marcus Hanneman, all ends up.
It looked so promising, didn't it, despite going 2-0 down, and then 74 seconds later they pulled one back through MADEJSKI. They need 2 in the remaining 5 minutes of added time. Shane Long, whipped in, Jaidi goes up, so too does BK, it's not clear yet. Here's Rossini. Long, they're queuing up in the middle. In by Long, Dubry meets it and glances it wide.
That's a good effort.
Kebe kept it in. Now Stephen Hunt. Taylor there first. Here's MADEJSKI, another strike. In Birmingham, waiting to spring into celebration. Some have started here in the Royal County of Berkshire. Steve Coppell has conceded defeat. Smile breaks out on the face of Roy Aitken. Not quite Alec McLeish just yet. He wants it rubber stamped. And gets it rubber stamped.
So it's finished like this. Wolves, who led pretty much all the way, finished 7 clear of Birmingham City, who have been on their tails for most of it too. Sheffield United finish in 3rd, then come Reading, Burnley and Preston.
Owen Coyle has led Burnley to their highest league finish in 33 years. But can they go the extra yards in the playoffs? Steve Coppell's Reading were just 1 win away from an automatic return to the Premier League. Do they have what it takes for the knockout route? In the Coca-Cola Championship playoff semi-final first leg, it's Burnley against Reading, live from Turf Moor.
Well, this Burnley band of brothers have certainly punched above their weight throughout the marathon season. They're without Wade Elliott today, though. He failed a late fitness test on a calf injury. Joey Good-Johnson is drafted into midfield. Rhys Williams has been here on loan from Middlesbrough for the last 3 months, but isn't available for the playoffs. So a change in defence too. Mike Duff recalled to right back in his first start since February. other than that, this is the same side that started the last 3 games. Graham Alexander really summing up the spirit. At the age of 37, he's started all 59 games this season. Reading ring the changes from that final day defeat to Birmingham. Kevin Doyle, top scorer, fit again now and back in the side for the first time in 6 games. Brynjar Gunnarsson, another back from the treatment table. It's his first start since March. And Marek MADEJSKI, who made such an impact from the bench against Birmingham, looks to do so from the start here. Stephen Jordan hasn't featured at all in the squad for the last 2 months. He's called up to the Burnley bench. Dave Kitson, Stephen Hunt and Jem Karacham all dropping out of the side onto the bench. Time for the final thoughts of the managers. Let's hear from Steve Coppell. He's with Greg Whelan.
Steve, in 3 playoff campaigns as a manager, you've never lost a semi-final. What's the key to these matches?
I don't know. It's a long time ago now, those campaigns. I mean nothing, not relevant to this occasion. I think each one of these games is unique in its own value, and you have to climb a mountain, certainly away from home, and we're aware of that. It's going to be a tough game because they're a good team, but we're up for it. We've got a good following with us, so delighted about that.
Because you struggled at the MADEJSKI Stadium of late, how vital is it, do you feel, to get a result here?
Well, yeah, but we don't pitch to go, you know, work harder here and give ourselves less work to do at home. It's just flat out. There is no way of qualifying your commitment. You just go flat out and try and win the game, and that will be our mentality today, just to try and win it.
Reading, of course, rubbing shoulders with the elite last year. The second of their 2-year stay in the Premier League. Can they follow Birmingham City, who beat them last time out and denied them automatic promotion on the final day, and bounce back at the first time of asking? They're in their change strip here in a sunny turf moor. Blake with the quality to pick them out. Across comes Hanneman, did enough, just. It's going to be a corner, as if it wasn't noisy at Turf Moor at kick-off. Decibel level rises here.
Well, Marcus Hanneman wants a free kick for that. There's nothing, he actually collides with his own player, and we have to remember he gave away that very, very soft goal against Birmingham City last week.
Marek MADEJSKI, one of the 3 changes made by Steve Coppell. Here's another Doyle who's popped up centrally. He's got Long in the middle. Now Kebe. Will curl into the roof of the net.
Well, Kevin Doyle was out on the left wing. Jimmy Kebe crossed that in, and there was only Shane Long in the middle.
Nigel Johnson going for treatment. This Eagles going for goal. Picks out McCann. On for Blake. Blake for Burnley. Trying to sneak it in. And if that had been on target, that would have been very interesting.
Well, he fooled everybody, didn't he? Because when you get the ball in this kind of a position, 99 times out of 100, a player will try and bend it in the far corner. He gives the goalkeeper the eyes. It's a clever attempt.
Pressed by McCann. Here's Gunnarsson, back in the side for the best part of 2 months. Up towards Shane Long. Well defended by Duff. But Reading will come again. Doyle will leave it. Rosenior will cross it. Caldwell can clear. Doyle again. Oh, it's missed by Alexander. It's very much alive for Reading, and it's saved in the end. Fantastic double save by Brian Jensen. The cry of beast rings out around Turf Moor.
Well, rightly so. I think it's more about his positioning here. They miss the cross. It's Alexander. That is a brilliant save. Good reactions, but he's up really quickly, and he gathers the second ball. It's absolutely super goalkeeping. Jay Tapp's a good strike. What a strong hand that is.
MADEJSKI. Czech international. It's fallen down for Michael Dubry.
He said he hasn't scored for Reading, and he had a very similar situation on the last day of the season against Birmingham, but doesn't quite get full control of the shot. Can't keep it down.
Might be a young striker, Patterson, but he knows what he's doing sometimes in those sort of situations, and in these as well. Very nearly came away. And fired just wide. So close for Burnley there, McDonald.
Well, Liam Rosenior gets a fantastic block in here. Watch this as it breaks. Watch the Reading fullback. He's out like a flash, and that is a really important block.
Looking at Kevin Doyle, Don, I'm not sure that he's moving as well as he might be. He's been speaking to the bench as well. He's, of course, got replacements in reserves. Dave Kitson there just stretching off. Stephen Hunt as well, should he be unable to continue. Ball by MADEJSKI. It's Kebe on the move. Someone needs to make up the ground in the middle, and Tab nearly did. Carlisle puts it behind.
We spoke about Liam Rosenior being in the right place at the right time for Reading. Well, I'll tell you what, Clark Carlisle gets himself in the right place here. Jimmy Kebe does ever so well, and Jay Tabbs coming in behind there. Carlisle has to deal with it. Good defending.
Oh, great lead by BK and cleared off the line at the near post. Back in by Rosenior and glanced away by Alexander. Well, BK came close.
Well, he must have thought he'd scored first of all. I think it's the goalkeeper just gets a hand to it, but from the rebound, that's Martin Patterson, the striker. He's there to score goals, but I tell you what, he's just stopped one. Absolutely brilliant.
Did look as well like an honest slip, didn't it, rather than anything cynical in it. BK's header. Likewise that of Doyle. Here's MADEJSKI. Kebe to his left. Long in the middle. Doyle trying to join him. Kebe! It had real venom behind that one.
Well, that's why they play him out on the left-hand side. Very, very right-footed. Got lots of pace. Got the ability of cutting in and unleashing shots. He just can't keep the ball down, but we've seen him hit the target from this kind of situation. Lots of power. Just doesn't keep the ball down. Decent game now.
The severity of the injury will be a concern, potentially for Reading 2 more games after this. Got two sides who have their season condensed into a couple of matches. The hope of getting to Wembley, extending it by one more game. And of course, understandably, the thought is not to give anything away, which is exactly what Reading have done here to Patterson. Burnley's best moment.
I'll tell you what, I think there would be a steward's inquiry if Burnley had scored from there. I think Martin Patterson fouls Brynjar Gunnarsson, who's having a go at the referee for that exact thing.
McDonald continues his run. Tab. Kebe, oh, he's got the touch ahead of Carlisle. He's got Kitson in the middle here. Jimmy Kebe for Reading. Oh, he went the wrong way. Kitson's head is in his hands, and so too that of most of the Reading fans. What a moment!
Well, anybody connected with Reading need to have their head in their hands here, because that is brilliant. And now he's got an opportunity to play it. He doesn't play it early enough, and Kitson, look at his reaction. It's a super piece of skill to get him in that, but that's the touch he doesn't need. Doesn't need the extra touch. He's just got to roll it square. Kitson's got to tap in.
And they get it right when it really matters. Now there was a definite pullback there on the shirt of Thompson. BK furious, but the referee gives the penalty. A yellow card for Andre BK. Massive moment here in the last 10 minutes at Turf Moor.
Well, what is he complaining about? Everybody in the ground saw that he had a fistful of shirt. That's a great bit of skill, and you just can't do that. He's got a fistful of shirt. The referee's 5-10 yards away. He's the wrong side. He pulls Thompson back. And why he's complaining, I don't know. He should be ashamed of himself. That is a really stupid piece of defending. And all of a sudden, from being comfortable and restricting Burnley to long shots and no chances in the game, what an opportunity for Burnley now.
And on the biggest day of Burnley's season, they look to the most experienced man out there, 100% from the penalty spot so far. Can he keep that record going when it really, really matters? Alexander against Hanneman. Alexander scores! Burnley leads! On an afternoon where they haven't hit the heights, they do take the lead through their Mr. Reliable.
Oh, there was never any doubt, was there? Did anybody in this ground doubt that Graham Alexander was going to score that? But Andre BK, well, I'll tell you, he needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror. He was never, ever going to get away with that. But having said that, you've still got to stick the ball in the back of the net, and you wouldn't want anybody else in football on this penalty if you're Burnley than Graham Alexander. And that is absolutely calmness personified. Power, drives it high, and Hanneman absolutely no chance. And that is a big, big goal in a game that Burnley, let's not kid ourselves, do not deserve to be in front in. Well, I think the end result has outweighed the performance as a whole, has to be said. He won't care, though.
Down goes Blake, and a red card. A a straight red card. Andre Piquet and Reading falling apart here. First he gave away the penalty, now he has given away his place in the side and his place on the field. He's lost his head, and with that have Reading lost their chance of promotion.
Well, he certainly has lost his head. He lost his head when he pulled Stephen Thompson's shirt, didn't he? Well, what he's getting involved in here, I don't know. The game's nearly almost up. So coming together there. Oh, and he stamps out at Robbie Blake. It's just absolutely crazy, you know. And it's his reaction, isn't it? It's as if, you know, he can't believe that he's been sent off for such a petulant stamp. It's absolute madness. And I tell you what, Steve Coppell will be absolutely furious with him. Furious.
Well, one man doesn't make a team, but one man's actions can bring a team to its knees. And Andre Piquet giving away a thoughtless penalty, and then essentially giving the referee no choice but to send him off. How critical will those two moments be for Reading? Of course there's a chance for them to recover, but they have given themselves a mighty mountain to climb. Of course, when given an advantage, you have to take it, and Graham Alexander did just that.
Steve, well, how would you sum up your emotions after losing in those circumstances?
Well, as you said, the circumstances, you know, I thought we'd done well. You know, they hadn't created a great deal. There's no away team in the first leg of the playoff. I thought we'd done okay. And then the penalty instant, the referee was probably about 7-8 yards away, and there was a shared tug without doubt. For him to give it from where he was without the 100% support of the linesman, I think was at best a guesstimate. There's no way he could say for sure it was in or out. I've watched it about 5-6 times now just on a small computer, and it's almost impossible to say, even with the camera right along the 18-yard box. Now, I don't know where the benefit of doubt should go, but surely if there is no clarity in such an important game, then it shouldn't be given.
Finally, what did you think of Andre Piquet's behaviour to get sent off at the end there?
No defence. You know, there is no space for that in football, and you know, he got 100% what he deserved. No reservations.
Burnley lead 1-0 after the first leg at Turf Moor, thanks to 10 minutes of Reading madness.
No, there was a definite pullback there. Referee gives the penalty. Alexander against Hanneman. Alexander scores! Burnley leads! Down goes Blake. Straight red card. Andre Piquet and Reading falling apart here.
Now the Royals have to win at home for the first time since January to have any chance of booking their place in the Wembley final. Reading fans can hardly believe what they've seen here. 8 games without a win, but they know their season could still end in glory. The big team news, no Kevin Doyle for Reading. There is a full debut for 20-year-old Simon Church, and what a time to make it. It's the Coca-Cola Championship playoff semi-finals, second leg, live from the MADEJSKI Stadium. Reading up against Burnley.
Steve, to get to Wembley, you have to buck the trend in terms of your recent home form. How confident are you that you can?
Well, I don't think we've been confident given our recent home form. You know, it's a question of wait and see. There's a determination. You know, we've looked at our situation, we're working on a few things and hoping it'll pay dividends, but there's certainly no guarantee. It's something we've got to work very hard for tonight, for sure.
You've chosen a playoff semi-final to give a full debut to Simon Church up front. What's your reasoning behind that, and what can he offer?
Well, he's a good player. You know, he's a Welsh under-21. He's just a good striker, and you know, it is a gamble without doubt, but I have confidence in him, and you know, we have a flexible bench. We can do many things from the bench. So, you know, I just felt it was a square peg in a square hole, and that's what we need, and certainly to start the game anyway.
It's win or bust tonight. What's your final message to your players?
I think it's all too simplistic to say enjoy it, but you know, if they go out there, you know, feeling as if they are carrying a burden, then they're not going to express themselves properly, and they need to tonight. They need to take the weight off and just realise this is it. This is what it's all about, and winner takes all on either side.
Andre Biquet's 10 mad minutes at Turf Moor cost Reading the first leg. Biquet, of course, won't play again this season, even if the Royals do get to Wembley. So Alex Pearce, a 20-year-old who has been at the club since the age of 12, starts the biggest game of his career. Kevin Doyle, the top scorer, his comeback was short-lived, though. He's out again this time with Achilles trouble. That opens the door for Simon Church. A full debut for Reading for the Wales under-21 international captain. So Steve Coppell looks to the kids on this make-or-break night for the Royals. A win at a cost, though, for Burnley on Saturday. They almost lost their whole midfield as the day went on, but the situation has improved. Wade Elliott, who failed a test just before the kickoff, is fit to start tonight. Chris Eagles limped off and is only fit enough for a place on the bench. So Stephen Thompson starts his first game in 2 months. A switch in formation as well, by the look of things. So Thompson partnering the top scorer Martin Patterson. 18 goals this season, but he's only got 1 in his last 16 matches. Well, the boldness of Steve Coppell's selection illustrated by the established names on the Reading bench. Hunt, Kitson and Little all in reserve. As for Burnley, the weekend starters Joey Good-Johnson and Chris Eagles fit enough to return to the substitutes. Well, the last time Reading lined up in this tunnel, they were dreaming of automatic promotion, hoping that others would do them a favour. No favours required tonight. It's simple equations. Win well, and that equals Wembley. This evening, though, the task is simple. 4th against 5th over the course of the season. 1 point over 46 games. The difference between the 1 penalty over the first 90 of this semi-final separates them as we prepare to fight to the finish in Berkshire here tonight. Here. In the previous 8, only Gillingham have scored more than 1 goal in a game. Tab brought down by Elliott here.
You want to see from Reading a positive start. Tab running at the defence, just clips him there. And that's...
There are options here. They are bound for Reading. Gunnarsson can hit a mean dead ball. It'll be slid in looking for Shane Long. And it was just a little too long, but Marek Matejowski reading the situation well. Matejowski couldn't provide him with the return. Pass challenge in there from McCann. Touch from Church. Here's Long. Reading will need reinforcements in the middle. Kebby trying to make up the ground. Jensen with an oh-so-vital touch. Tonight they know that it all could come to an end. Burnley, a season that's taken them to within minutes of Wembley already in the Carling Cup. Church eased out of the way by the Norwegian Calvinez.
That's a really good turn by Church. You like to see strikers do that. First thing in the mind, get turned. The next one, you could be off.
Tab and Matejowski stand over it. It's in by J. Tab. It's come through to Shane Long for Reading. Long sets his sights. Jensen gets it away. Dubry hooks it back goalwards. Agonisingly close, but it loops over.
But again, Jensen, that big frame, the massive frame, bar in the way again. It's a decent save. And look at that. He exactly knew what he was doing there. Here's the shot. It is a good save. Comes at him quick, through bodies. And look at this for an attempt after. Just hooks it back gently, didn't he?
Flip side, though, Reading have only scored 3 goals here in the last 3 months. Doing their best to improve on that statistic here. It's come to Church.
Really big moment, wasn't it? And he knew it.
McCann. It's Gunnarsson with him and gets that cross away. Elliott deflected just over.
What an attempt this is, by the way. Wonderful bit of skill here. Look at the technique here. Slightly behind him. And that deflection's flicked it over. That was heading, I think, from that angle, looked like goalwards. I think Elliott knew that.
Matejowski. Oh, good ball for Gunnarsson. He's onside as well. Church, the runner at the near post. He's missed it. Goodness me, what a chance that was for Reading.
Put in the right area, but to get any contact for there, to put it on target, very difficult.
The big boys from the back again. Whipped in well by Tab, too high for Dubry. It's come all the way through the box. Matejowski trying to get a sight at goal. Czech international dancing, the cutback for Dubry. Brilliantly anticipated by Caldwell, who put his body on the line. Dubry, well, he's going to get a yellow card for this.
Well, I think that's wrong as well. He's every entitlement to go for that ball. MADEJSKI does well, twists and turns, gets the ball back, and Dubry's got to go for that.
MADEJSKI, Caldwell didn't mean to do that. Long is onside. Out comes Jensen, has to make it. He does. Reading claim it, bounced up off his hand. Mike Riley agrees. Free kick, unintentional, so he should be all right here, Brian Jensen.
He commits himself, goes all the way there, gets the ball first, and it does rebound onto him. It is accidental. There, gets the ball, and that's just unfortunate. And that's why the referee hasn't sent him off. He got it first with his foot, and then it ricochets onto his hand. My worry when I first saw him coming out, is he going to get there? Because Long's pace is a little bit quicker than Jensen's.
They're not out of the woods yet either, Burnley. MADEJSKI, Dan Harding, they're the Reading pair standing over this. Burnley have everyone back, manning the barricades. Brynjar Gunnarsson standing to the left as well. Harding will take it on himself. It got through the wall, and Jensen, a little bit surprised initially, recovered his composure just in time.
Well, how often do you see this? The wall goes to jump there, it goes through two sets of legs, and that in the end is a decent stop. There's one, there's the other, and that goes right through, and he's flat-footed. Luckily, he grasps onto it.
Everyone accepts it's a level playing field. They're established now, the playoffs. Reading have thrown everything they can at Owen Coyle's Burnley in this first half, but they can't find the equalising goal. Jensen again, a significant barrier at the back. So Burnley still have that crucial advantage at half-time. It's goalless on the night at half-time at the MADEJSKI. No changes to either side at half-time. No change to the task that Reading have. Without a goal, their season ends here. With one, well, who knows? It could go all the way. Half an hour of extra time awaits if required, and of course penalty kicks that follow that. Alexander loops high into the darkening Berkshire sky, and Mike Riley immediately spots something he doesn't care for. MADEJSKI, the Czech international for Reading, turned into trouble. Thompson got the touch past Dubry. Now Patterson. A lot of space for Patterson to run into. He's going to take it on there. Oh, goodness me! What a goal from Patterson! If that is to be the one that takes them to Wembley, you cannot argue with that. Pure quality.
Absolute magic. A cleaner strike at the ball you won't see. And Hanneman is just absolutely mortified. Could get nowhere near it. It was that good a strike. There didn't look any real danger on. You see the number of striped shirts getting back, you think they're going to be in charge. They all back off. Look how far they let him run. And look at that for a strike. That is absolute perfection. But they all back off here. They let him come. They let him come. It's a long way out, but look at that. Hanneman desperately trying to get there. But such is the quality of this strike. He can't. It's just one of those shots, one of those strikes that is perfectly put in, right in the corner, and no goalkeeper gets near it.
A look to the heavens, and that was a goal from that department, wasn't it? Well, it's prompted a triple change. The established old guard for Reading are coming on. Off goes MADEJSKI. On comes Stephen Hunt. Off comes Kebe, on goes Dave Kitson, top scorer for Reading in their last promotion season. And Glenn Little, 7 years a Burnley player, is going to come on to try and put a spanner in the works for the club where he really made his name. Simon Church, the young debutant, the man to make way. Need two to take it to extra time. Little stands over it, the added height of Kitson is up there. Little to deliver, and it eludes everybody.
I'm always surprised when nobody stops at the far post just to attack it in case it does go over everybody. You just need to just go away, don't go to the referee, just don't be silly.
Thompson takes a swing, oh, they've done it again! Another wonder goal
Probably not quite as good as the first one, but still a wonderful strike. It dips and just goes over the top of Hanneman. It's a long ball. And again, doesn't look a great deal of danger. There, just takes it with his left foot, dips over Hanneman, underside of the bar, and another wonderful strike. Both strikers on top of the game. There's the dip, vital. It's the top of the bar, and Hanneman again, you've got no chance. It's perfect, he's just gone right over the top. He's a tall man, but that is just exactly what he had to do there. Yeah, know how you feel. You've been beaten in the playoff semi-final before. I know the feelings. Horrible.
For Reading, disbelief, frustration.
The thing is, they played so well first half. They were the dominant force. Started the second half reasonably well, and all of a sudden, two moments of magic have just done that for their supporters. You just feel for them, don't you, after that first half performance? They must have thought they were in with a chance. All of a sudden, two moments of pure magic and taking it away from them by the look of it. There's still a way back, of course there is. It's got to be a special one. Oh, there's a frustration. Long's just smashed the corner flag into the cameraman in that far corner.
And Long puts his head in his hands like the majority of the blue and white supporters here at the MADEJSKI, and knows that Riley will take a sympathetic view of that, but he won't get away with too much more. Just been booked as well.
No wonder. And they've been at the end where they've seen the two goals as well. Right in that corner, they've seen those two absolute crackers at close quarters.
Kitson, he'll take this one on. Came off Caldwell, might come to Long.
Well, is that the chance that could have given them a little bit of a lifeline? Kitson picks it up in space, nobody comes towards him, gets the shot away, rebounds luckily, and then goes to blast it, try and break the back of the net.
Little to take to try and spark the most unlikely of Reading comebacks. Touched on by Gunnarsson. Kitson! Well, that's two really good chances for Reading in the space of a couple of minutes. Long over, and there Kitson.
Look at the space and the time they had at the far post here. Two of them, they all get chucked across. He has to swivel turn. To recover.
Long's touch. He'll roll through the tap. He'll have a go himself.
Well, he's seen two spectacular ones at the other end as well. Let me join the party. Decent strike, but off target.
Still prowling and patrolling the touchline, Owen Coyle. But his boys have done it. Their marathon season has one final step. They are Wembley bound, Burnley.
Start just by asking how difficult a decision this has been to make for you.
Well, given the result the other night, it just seemed the right thing to do, the right timing. Last season, I had a decision to make whether to continue. I wanted to erase relegation from my mind. My way to purge that would be to have got the club back in the Premiership. The result the other night obviously guaranteed that we weren't going back in the Premiership, and in my mind I just, as I say, thought it was a full stop. You know, my contract came to a finish anyway, and I just informed the chairman. We had a chat, as we've done, you know, the end of every season, and I just said to him, it's time to go, and it's time for a fresh man to come in and reappraise everything and give it a new lick of paint.
You didn't wait very long after the full-time whistle to make your decision. Was it always in your mind that if Reading were to get promoted this season, you would walk away?
Probably, yeah. That was my intention. My sole intention was to get promotion. That was the only reason. You know, I wanted to continue. I felt we were good enough to get promotion. You know, the quality of the two strikes against us the other night, I think, were sort of proof to me that it just wasn't meant to be. And in that case, You know, it's I thought it's a full stop, bring things to an end. My era at the club, and time for somebody else. As I say, to just have a tinker, a fresh appraisal of the playing squad and the direction the club and the team is taking, and I think it's right for the club and right for me.
Despite obviously not getting promoted this season, how proud are you of everything you've achieved over the past 5.5 years here at Reading?
Well, during those 5.5 years, I've always felt myself to be very, very lucky to be manager of this club. And again, I think it was just the right fit at the right time. You know, I served a long apprenticeship in management, and to come here at the time I did, you know, everything was just fit really nicely. And I think that reflected in results. We got promotion, we had a great first year in the Premiership, and we missed out on goal difference. And then this year, of course, you know, we finished 4th, which is creditable, but not good enough, and not what I thought the squad was capable of doing. For 2/3 of the season, I thought we looked very, very strong and competent and well capable of getting promotion. And then the final third, you know, I would have to say we let ourselves down. And again, because of that, and just the timing of everything, it's time for us all to move on, I think.